hand tying just like this. This was what was going on. Since then, we progressed into the companies asked us to bale tobacco. So we started off with the little 100-pound bales, and when I was in high school, we built the balers in high school with Bobby Gaffney as our ag teacher, and we filled this county full of those little balers, and that changed us right then. Our parents, our fathers, they said, "You guys, this is never going to work," but it did work. so change started there. Then we moved on, and we had the buyout came, and when the buyout came, we lost producers, and we lost acres and barns. Folks didn't take care of their barns anymore because they were out, and the companies didn't need as much tobacco, and that showed. So folks diversified. They went into grains and other niche crops to grow on the farm. But that tangled bale, after the buyout, we got to go to a tangled bale, and what that is a 650-pound bale. Wow. That we can dump each grade in, and we don't have to lay it straight like we did there. We just dump it in there, get it to the corners, and bale it, and that helped us. But we are about as efficient as we can be in tobacco, because tobacco has no more technology. There's no harvesters, there's no combines for it. We still have to do man hours and 200 man hours per acre to produce an acre of tobacco. And as you well know, all y'all that's been in it, you know how those barns are. And right now, with the barn situation in this county, you put as many acres as you can in your barns. But the changes has been in my generation, 40 years plus, that's how the changes that's happened. Labor, we lost our labor, and we had to move on to different avenues. H2A program. We participate in the H2A program because our contracts with the tobacco companies, because we contract straight with tobacco companies right now. There's no more middleman, we're straight with them. So they ask for legal labor, no child labor. There's a whole list of GAP practices, good agriculture practices we have to practice to have a contract. So H2A workers are one of them. We bring 9 H2A workers, which come from a village in Mexico. They're 28 hours from home when they get here. And they're all cousins, brothers, and they help us from May to January. And they help us in this tobacco and other things we do on the farm. But without that labor, we couldn't grow this tobacco. So there's been those changes, Bo, since I've been in.
So to piggyback off that, here in 2026, what would you say your biggest challenge or two is in raising tobacco?
We still got a labor challenge, and what I mean by that, the H2A program is a federal program, and a lot of times you don't get your help on time, which hurts. So you have to kind of guard against that. Second of all, input costs. Fertilizer has been so volatile in corn production, tobacco production, and it just moves up and down, and you have to fit that in your budget, because farmers are price takers. We're not price setters. So we have a budget, and we have to stay in that budget. You gotta say, ooh, can I afford more fertilizer? Can I do this? But that's some of the challenges we have.
All right, I got another one for you.
All right.
Where do you see the industry heading in the next decade or so? And do you think there's any new or younger producers that are interested in kind of continuing the process?
Well, we've got some younger producers that's out here in this county, and hopefully with some news that I serve on a board of Burley and Dark Tobacco Producers Association, and also chair of the Council for Burley Tobacco in this state. And in those meetings and in those groups, we have been working to get more markets, get our Burley tobacco from Kentucky out to more markets. We have went together with Tobacco Associates out of North Carolina. They are a international group that goes and promotes Burley and dark flue and air cured tobacco to smaller countries, Vietnam for one of them, trying to get our tobacco in those blends. And we're seeing some movement there, and that's made our price raise a little bit. So maybe with that outlook in the next 4 or 5 years, we might secure some producers.
I asked you this morning, but this group would like to know, why do you think Woodford County growers, what few we have, 12 and 7 operations, why do you think they have remained in business when a lot of our surrounding counties have not?
And I said this morning, I think we're hard-headed. I think we say, you're not going to put us out of business, and we've done that. But
Bob's going to quote you on that.
Yeah. But we're the tradition. This is a tradition, Woodford County. We tobacco across this state and Burley tobacco in this area, it's a tradition, and we've all got the infrastructure to do that. And it's still profitable. It's not the profit we used to enjoy, but it is profitable. So it's another tool in our bag to keep these farms alive.